has something to add? Or, I mean, was somebody else talking? Did I just talk over you? Go ahead.
I was going to say that it's very difficult when we're in farming communities like in Central Valley to get people to understand that maybe their electeds are doing a really good job, but the neighbors' electeds aren't. You need to spend money outside of your district, outside of your elected individual district, to help remove some of these people. Just don't say it's that district's problem, it's all our problem. So we have to reach out beyond our own borders.
It's kind of hard to go and do that when you got the own president of the United States of America coming to do collections from us.
Larry, did you have you wanted to add something to that?
Well, I wanted to make a point, it's a little digressing a little bit, but you remember last year when there was a $9.3 billion water bill that was going to come up in November? Do you recall that in there? Well, it was, there was $3 billion in there for reservoirs, there was $3 billion in there for canal, and then some environmental money. But that proposal was pulled about 2 weeks before, no, 3 weeks before the November elections. And instead they put in the fast train proposal for $9.8 billion. Do you recall this? Yes. And it passed on a 52% vote. Now they're coming back with a new water bill that is $11 billion instead of 9.3. And why? Because there's pork in there. And they were asked the politicians in Sacramento, well, why don't you all that pork in there? And they said, we have to put that pork in there in order to get this bill passed. That was the answer. And that kind of thinking of Sacramento has been going on for so long, it's unbelievable.
Thank you.
That claim is going to cost, before it's done, they estimate the San Francisco Chronicle that $52 billion.
If it ever gets done. If it ever gets done, if the bonds ever get sold. But,
yeah, but that's the exact amount of money that it would have cost to fill all the dikes, clean all the dikes up in the Delta, is about $25 billion. Put the peripheral canal in, and put in about 3 or 4 reservoirs, another $25 billion. It was almost identical to what that thing's going to cost.
Okay. Thank you. Jim, you had a comment you wanted to add to the question.
In November of this year, the most important vote, and every person in this room can make it, vote Barbara Boxer out.
Yeah. You know, it's amazing how simple, just look at what happened in New Jersey last week. New Jersey, 59% of the school budgets that the teachers union put forward were voted down, only because Christie, the new governor, who, you know, it's a historic victory for him to win, a Republican to win, and to have unseated, what was the guy who was there? I can't believe I forgot his name already. He was spending a fortune to stay in office. And no, Corzine. I mean, he thought he had it in the bag. Well, the taxpayers in New Jersey, highest taxed, his six of the highest out of 10 highest taxed counties in the country, they've had enough. And they voted no to the teachers' unions because Christie told them that the teachers' unions would have to take a cut. And if they didn't take a cut in pay, then you know, they would have to they'd have to make concessions somewhere. Well, they didn't want to make any concessions, no cuts. So Christie had laid it out for the taxpayers, and the taxpayers voted no. 59% of the budgets were turned down. It was unprecedented, right? So we can do it here. Most people, they talk about the drought. Oh yeah, it's because of the drought. Oh yeah, it's because of the Endangered Species Act and the protection of the smelt, which most people disagree with. Anyway, they think that's wrong, you know, to bankrupt a whole community because of a fish. But they still believe about the drought. Did you get that? It's not a drought. It is not a drought. It is a man-made drought. I mean, what they're calling a drought is normal changes, variations in precipitation. So it's educating our public, and what the media is not helping us. They're very lazy. You have to provide them the information. They want you need to feed them sometimes. We have some good journalists, but a lot of the journalists in the mainstream media, but whatever Nancy Pelosi says, that's what they report. Whatever the Democratic leaders say to them, that's what they report. So you have a task, laid out for you, and you have to help people understand the connection between the water costs here and what the farmers in the Central Valley are winning. And you also have to realize, you take out that red area in the state of California in the center, we're only holding on by two votes in the Assembly, and I think it's maybe 2 in the Senate in Sacramento. That's our margin to prevent, to have for the Democrats not to have a majority and be able to raise taxes without with impunity. I mean, that's all they need. So you take out the Central Valley, and that's it. It's all over. They can raise taxes as much as they want. I mean, it's bad enough as it is right now. So yeah, we need to help people here to understand the connection, and that we can make California prosperous again for California families and for business. You, sir, you have a question over there.
I remember hearing during the negotiations for the health care bill that some congressman negotiated to turn water on or something for his vote. Can you update us on what happened there and when I'm going to get my water?
Well, number one, that was actually Jim Costa and his associate congressman from Merced County, Dennis Cardoza. That was actually a scam. He didn't trade that water was going to come to us. He tried to take credit for that. Well, I had to vote for that bill, and we wanted that water. And you know what? He was trying to make us look bad. That, hey, it's because of you guys that I had to pass this bill. All that was political coverage, and it was a bunch of BS.
Up there in the top, the woman, yes, you.
I have 2 really quick questions. One's for each person, and then the other one's just kind of whoever can answer it. The one for whoever can answer it, is there a possibility to get a ballot measure of any kind to get the pumps turned on where people can actually vote on something like that? And then the one that's kind of to everybody in your dealings with politicians, the ones who aren't budging, is there anyone who looks close like they might crack?
There was a possibility that I didn't mean to cut in. We actually, the first time that Devin Nunes brought legislation into Congress in June of last year, it passed. They had bipartisan support. It was going to pass. Nancy Pelosi and George Miller called for a recess, and immediately they went to twisting arms, and when it came back in for a vote the next day, they killed it. And ever since, they've been on a mission, and they've intimidated congressional representatives up and down our state and across the nation and threatened them not to support legislation to assist us.
Yeah.
Who passed it initially?
Well, they were taking the votes, and they could see it was going to pass, so they called for a recess, and they stopped it.
Yeah, and it's a federal legislation, so we can't do an initiative in the state, a statewide initiative.
An initiative, well, see, initiatives are for state and not federal. But the thing is, Congress can pass the laws in one day, those pumps can be turned on. They did it in New Mexico, and we need to bring it up for a vote, and we need an up and down vote on it, and then we can see who's with us and who's not, and put the heat on.
Russ, what was that example in New Mexico, and how long ago was it?